the link to our platform is bugzero.io. Then you can click on join with us. Then in this demonstration, I'm going to join as a hacker. So what we need from you is your name and then your handle. Handle means your username. You can use your Facebook username, Twitter handle, something like that. Then we need your email address, and the country is already selected as Sri Lanka because we are all Sri Lankans. So then we need your password, and then you have to agree to the Bugzero terms and conditions, because terms and conditions are the ones that are governed by us and the hackers, because there are some kind of conditions that you need to agree when you are joining our platform. For example, if you find some kind of vulnerability in a bug bounty program, let's say you have found some kind of vulnerability in a Janashakti program, so you have to submit that vulnerability as a report to the program, and then you cannot publicly mention that vulnerability until the Janashakti program has allowed you to do that. So that's some kind of a confidentiality agreement between both of you and the Janashakti program. And there are several specific terms and conditions, such as you have to abide by the specific program policy set by the bug bounty program. I will show you what is the bug bounty program. So I will join with my own account. So first, as we join to our platform, you can see the programs tab. This is where all the bug bounty programs are listed. So we can see there's a Basha program. Bugzero is the program that we have set up as the bug bounty program. Citadel, Helakuru, Janashakti Pay here, and so on. So for the moment, I will show our own bug bounty program, Bugzero bug bounty program. So when we are going to some kind of a program, the main thing that you have to look at is the program policy. I will increase the font size so that you can read clearly. So as I mentioned earlier, the program policy is the one that describes what you have to do in the bug bounty program. So it discusses what are the disclosure policies. Disclosure policy means that the things that you have to do to submit the vulnerability to the program. So you should not publicly disclose some kind of vulnerability if you found in a bug bounty program without prior approval from the bug bounty programs or some kind of a team member or some kind of approval. So the other thing is exclusion. Exclusion means the things that you don't necessarily do, like when you are finding vulnerabilities in the system, you should not do these kind of things, like you shouldn't do DOS attacks, spamming, or social engineering attacks, or physical attacks. So there are some kind of common vulnerabilities found in systems, such as email spoofing, rate limiting, and password policies, or click checking, things like that. So in our platform, the Bugzero program, we have already found these vulnerabilities and we have already fixed those things. So we ask the new hackers, so the people who are joining to our program newly, to not find these vulnerabilities, because it is already done. So they don't have to waste their time trying to do this again. So you can understand what are the things that you don't have to do. So you have to think out of the box. So the eligibility means that what are the reports that we accept as proper vulnerability reports. And the safe harbor. Safe harbor means when we are finding vulnerabilities in one system of our own platform, then you can find vulnerabilities in some kind of out of the scope. But if you find some vulnerability out of the scope, then in our platform we accept these vulnerabilities, because we are in our Bugzero platform, we try to encourage bug bounty hunters. And then finally, the most important thing that you see in program policy is the scope. So the in scope means the vulnerability, the things, the assets, or the targets that you can find vulnerabilities. So in this bug zero bug bounty program, you can see there is a domain bugzero.io. So you can find vulnerabilities in this, and you can get bounty for proper vulnerability reports. So also you can see there are some assets as out of scope. Out of scope means if you try to find vulnerabilities in these targets, you won't get any bounty because the system is not in our hand. Because if you go to blog.bugzero.io, it's hosted on media platforms. So we don't own the media platform. So if you found some kind of vulnerability in blog.bugzero.io, it means you found a vulnerability in Medium servers or Medium platform. So you have to you have to submit those vulnerabilities into the Medium publication. So we don't have some kind of agreement with them. So we ask you not to find vulnerabilities in blog.bugzero.io. So almost all the bug bounty programs registered in our platform has these two types, in scope and out of scope. So when we are trying to find vulnerabilities and trying to submit them, keep in mind of this in scope and out of scope. So finally, I will show you how to submit a report. So you go to the proper program and then you click on submit reports. Then you will get this kind of a vulnerability report. This is a basic template. If you have some kind of proper prior experience in HackerOne, Bugcloud, or any kind of a bug bounty platform other than Bugzero, you will find the same template when we are submitting a vulnerability report. So asset is the one that you have found a vulnerability. The bug type is the vulnerability type that you have found using your techniques. Let's say you found cross-site scripting vulnerability. Then the threat level means your perceived threat level. So let's say you found vulnerability in bugzero.io login page, cross-site scripting vulnerability. You say it has a critical vulnerability. And we also add CVSS version 3 calculator as well. So you can either select threat level as critical, or you can select these fine-grained versions to calculate the CVSS score. Then you can set up the report title. Think of it as an email subject. You can make it short as possible, but it should be meaningful so that anyone who reads the report title should get some kind of idea that what we are going to read in the report description. So in the report description, the hacker should add how the hacker or any other party can find this vulnerability on their own. Like we are calling it the proof of concept or the POC. So you add these steps, and some hackers, they add references, attachments, or Google Drive links, or some kind of secure storage links to show how this vulnerability can be reproduced by any other party. So if the hacker has some kind of idea about the impact of the vulnerability, they can add this in this as what kind of threat or risk to the target, or threat or risk level, and who will be affected. So if you have files such as images, video files, you can attach, and then finally you can submit a report. So I will show you a public report that we have received from a hacker. So you can see this. I think the one who submitted this report is here. Yeah. So we have it here. So I mean, if he can come here and he can describe it more than myself. So in hindsight, what we are doing is, what the hacker has done is, he mentioned the report title, then he selected the severity of the vulnerability as critical, and then he mentioned the asset, and then he mentioned the weakness, and then he added the description and how we are going to reproduce this vulnerability, and then he has added POC video, and then in this comments means the communication between from the bug zero team and the hacker itself. So you can see some kind of communication back and forth from the hacker and the bug zero team, and then we have about the bounty. I mean, it's for this bounty we have awarded him 20,000 rupees, and we have disclosed this vulnerability to the public. So that's the basic of how we are going to find vulnerabilities and how we are going to report to a program in Bug Zero. So if you find vulnerabilities in any other program, like if it's hosted on HackerOne, Bug.out, no problem, you can follow the same steps because it's like an industry standard that we have adapted to our Bug Zero platform as well. So if you know how to submit vulnerabilities in one platform, you can do the same in any other platform. So that's it for the demo of Bug Zero. So I will move on to some kind of live demonstration on how we are going to find vulnerabilities in a live system, and then we are going to see how exploit that vulnerability, and then I will give you some kind of way to mitigate. So first I will test that my servers are, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. For this demonstration, I have created my own platform, some kind of vulnerable platform, so that I can show you how I'm going to find the vulnerability and exploit it. So this is my some kind of example platform. I already mentioned that this is a vulnerable application by design. If you want, you can visit this website as well. It's publicly accessible. So in here, what we are going to do is the platform is some kind of a message code. So the thing that it does is you can send some kind of public message, and then you can let it be to show to another person, like let's say Reddit or Twitter, something like that. So first I will log in as the admin. I think I need the password. So this is the admin panel of this platform. You can type a message here, and the message will show in this box. And there's an admin panel here. Because I'm very lazy, I put everything on the same page. Just ignore it. So in this platform, we have 4 users. The first one is the admin, and then there's a hacker. For like to recognize the person, I have named him as hacker, because in reality you won't find users as hackers because they are sneaky people. Of course you will find people who name themselves as hackers, but they are not real hackers. And we find 2 other normal users. So if you didn't see it properly, we have 4 users: admin, hacker, and these 2 people. So as the admin, I will add some kind of a message so that all the other members in this platform can see it. So let's say as the admin, I mentioned that this is a public platform and the user should protect their privacy. So then I will join this platform as another user, like let's say this user. Then I can see that the new admin has said that this is a public platform. So as this user, I am going to put this message. So let's log in as another user. So there we go. We have admin and two users who have had some kind of messages. Then comes the hacker. Hacker is the one who used this website, and he or she just see this platform and not only look at this facade, this view, they look at the underneath working of this platform as well. So what they are going to do is, they are going to, when they see this kind of input box, they will try to input many things, like try to break the system. So like they will add some kind of gibberish, and then will try to do that. So it will show like that. So they will add some kind of messages like very in high speed. Like at this moment I am doing it by hand, but hackers will use some tools. After my session, there's a issue will discuss about the Burpsuit tool. If you know how to use Burpsuit, you can put hundreds and thousands of inputs in simple seconds. Because everything is done by the software for you. So let's say that the hacker has used this Burpsuit or any kind of tool, and they have found that this platform doesn't allow emojis. So for the moment, I think so I'm going to insert emoji here. So it shows that this platform doesn't allow emojis. So this is a good finding for the hacker. So hacker knows that this platform doesn't like emojis. So what he or she is going to do is they are going to bombard this system with these emojis and try to break the system, or try to see what happens. So they will add several emojis here. Let's say this, and do this, things like that. So if you look closely here, unfortunately I don't think I can zoom the URL address bar, but you can see that something is changing here very quickly. So to show you what is happening there, I have created a extension to see whether we can what is happening on the URL. So what we are going to do is we are going to export the history. I'm not going to show you my Chrome history, so that I created this extension. It only shows 5 minutes back. So as you can see here, you can see that the URL has changed like this. The error message, the message should not contain emojis, is from the UI. So if you think that if you add some kind of your own, you can see that this is getting here. So let's change this message. It says the message should not contain emojis. Let's try to change it. Let's say the message should contain emojis. Let's see if this works. So as we suspected, it worked. So when the hacker sees this, he usually believes that the developer might have done some kind of a mistake, which we call like a process scripting vulnerability. So the hacker will try to see if this vulnerability is in this system as well. So for that, I have already written some kind of a very simple script here, so that if this works, if there is some kind of a process scripting vulnerability, you should see a hello world alert. So as we suspected, it shows the hello world alert box. So now we know this platform is vulnerable to process scripting. So as a good person, like a good security researcher, you can stop right now and take a screenshot. And let's say the neural platform is on a Bug0 platform. So you can submit a vulnerability report saying that this platform has a process scripting vulnerability, and you will easily get a good sum of bug bounty. So, but now, in this demonstration, we are not a good person, and we are going to exploit this vulnerability. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to steal the admin's token. So for that, we are going to use two kinds of vulnerabilities. The first kind of vulnerability is within the system itself. So the first thing is that the system has this process scripting vulnerability. And the second thing is, you know who the admin is. So let's say you follow this platform, you know who the admin is, because the admin is a very social person. He posts everything on his social media. Let's say on his Twitter or Facebook, he says, hey, I am the admin. In his bio, he says, I am the admin of New. So you know who it is. So if you follow his social media, you know his email address, and you know his all social posting. So now we are going to exploit his own weakness. What we are using, the technique is social engineering technique. So in this method, what we are going to do is we are going to ask for his access token via email, but we are not going to ask his access token directly, but we are going to trick him to give us his access token. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to use this, there's some kind of tool. So here I have written some kind of exploit here. So you don't have to actually worry about it, because this contains some kind of a code to steal Firebase access tokens from this platform. What we are going to do is, when the user, the admin, has clicked some kind of a link in his email, the system will, the email will redirect to this platform, and then it will send his access tokens to the hacker's servers. So for that, I will use this is the hacker server that we are going to send the access tokens, and then we need to do this simple thing because we need to encode this URL because HTML doesn't like these things. So we are going to click it. So what we are going to do is we are going to copy this part. And then we are going to add this in this email. So for the moment, I think spoofing the email takes much of time because we are in some kind of deadline here, and I will just skip the spoofing part, but I will show you what is happening in real time. And I'm going to copy this, and then I will increase the font size. I think it's in here. So we are going to. So let's see. Let's think that this is the email that you received. How we are going to exploit this person's weakness is that we know that the new admin is like let's say he goes to some kind of famous fried chicken joint in Sri Lanka, and he posts selfies every other day. So we know he loves this food franchise, and he would love if that the food franchise will send him a promo. So what the hacker will do is he will spoof that email and send an email. For the time constraint, I will just show you the spoof email but not the email itself. So now the admin received this email, but I will just click, think this as an spoofed email, and then click here. So let's see what happens. So once we click here, nothing really happens. So the admin will see that it redirects to his platform, but he will most probably, if not a very tech savvy person, he will disregard it. They think of it as some kind of a software glitch, and he will disregard this message as well. But under the hood, the hacker has already stolen his access token here. As you can see in my server, I have received, I think you can see here, the refresh token, the access token, and the expiration time. So I have this kind of time to steal his. We have already stolen his tokens. Now we have this kind of time to impersonate him. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to show you that I'm going to log out here, and I will use this incognito window and log in as the hacker, so that you can see that what I'm doing properly. So you can see I am the hacker. So what we are going to do is we are going to use this refresh token, access token, and the user ID to mimic the admin privileges. So we are going to copy the refresh token. Okay. Then we are going to copy the access token. I think I have copied everything. Let's check. So if you found some kind of access token as a hacker or some kind of security researcher, what you can do is you can just go to jw.io and paste it here. I think I haven't. I haven't copied everything. So what we can do is we can check what is inside this KWT token. Yeah. So what we are going to do is we are going to paste it here, and yes, you can see what is inside the payload. You know the name, the issuer, the audience, and the authenticated time. And the most important thing is the user ID. Now we know it's 0. So we are going to use it in this script, and we are going to put it as 0. So now what we are going to do is we are going to change the access token for the hacker, and we are going to make that you don't have to actually worry about if you are new to these things. I think Ishuru will show you how we are going to use this network tab and things like that to utilize to find vulnerabilities and things like that. So what I'm going to do is like run a script in this platform. So I will try to run this script. Let's see what happens. If my script runs properly, you will see that this me will be changed to admin, and I will be shown the admin panel. So let's try what happens. I will use a snippet here. So under the hood, the system has accessing the admin and trying to change it. Let's see what happens. Yeah. I think there is some kind of issue here, but the idea is that let's try to do it again. I think the problem is when you are using the incognito, there are some kind of issues doing that. So I will try to use this. Let's try. Hopefully it will work. If it's not, the idea is the same, that you change what the idea is you change the user ID of the current user, you change the access token of the current user, and then finally you change the refresh token. So now I just found my mistake is I have mistakenly add the access token as the refresh token, and then I have replaced it with the access token. So hopefully this will work. So let's go to the inspect and then create a snippet and then run. So as you can see, the access has changed, and before that I have logged in as the hacker, and now I have the complete admin privileges. So as I logged in as the hacker, but now I have the complete access. So let's do it like this. I have been hacked. So we can see that the control access has granted to this, and the admin panel is visible. So that's the thing that I wanted to show you, like what is happening when we are not looking at the system and when we are not focusing on vulnerabilities such as process scripting in systems. So when we are as developers, I mean most of you are developers or trying to become developers. So what you have to focusing on is when we are developing systems, we have to think like hackers. Usually we think like developers, but we have to think like hackers. So when we are think like hackers, we have to think outside of the box. So also when we are doing some kind of things like maintaining some kind of systems, we have to be vigilant about the emails we are receiving. See here that I just used some kind of very simple information found on the internet about this user, and I tried to grab his attention and you see here it's not very attractive spam email, but phishing email, but the hackers will send you a very compelling and beautiful emails that you are compelled to click on these links. So see, if you see in this link, it says https://famousfriedchicken.com/promo, but if you see under the hood, it is another link. You can see at the end of at the bottom of the window that it is another link. So you have to be vigilant about the links that you found on the internet before you are clicking it. So another thing that I usually say to everyone when I am discussing about these things, that like finding vulnerabilities and exploiting vulnerabilities, be very vigilant and be mindful about the things that you are posting on social media. So how this hacker has gained his access from the admin is that he knows that the admin loves to visit this fried chicken menu. So it's, if he did not provide this information publicly, the hacker has to work hard to get the attention from the admin. So that's what I want to stress on this event today, that you should keep that in mind, like when all the Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, or any kind of social media, anyone can share some kind of screenshot or something like that. So you have to be mindful of the things that you post on social media, because even if it looks simple or harmless, it can contain some kind of a personal or private information you have included unknowingly. So that's the thing, like I want to discuss with you all, that the things that you have to remember, and the things that the only thing that you have to take from this session today is that be mindful of the links that you receive, and be mindful of the links that you click on internet, and be mindful of the things that you post on social media. So I think this concludes my session.